You didn't click on this video by accident. You probably have something that you should be doing right now. Maybe that's work. Maybe it's studying. Maybe you're supposed to be cleaning your room before your parents get to whooping that ass. But instead, here you are, watching a video about procrastination. Don't worry, that doesn't mean you're lazy or broken. It just means that you're human. Because procrastination isn't about being lazy. It's not a you don't care enough problem. It's a fear problem. And when you start to understand that, is when you realize your brain's not working against you, but it's actually just trying to protect you. And then you start to work on changing it. So we got a couple steps. Let's break them down. Step 1, procrastination is not, or is fear-based. It's not laziness. You know when you're staring at the to-do list you made yesterday and it feels like your brain just shuts down? You know what you need to do. It's on the list. But for some reason you can't do it. You can't just get up and bring yourself to do it. It's not a lack of motivation. It's your brain protecting you from discomfort. So basic how it works. When your brain senses a task that feels hard, uncertain, or uncomfortable, it flags it as a potential threat. So maybe you're afraid of failing. Maybe you're afraid of not doing it perfectly. Or maybe you just don't know where to start and that confusion feels unsafe. I get this way with certain things. I'm not great with plumbing, so anytime I start to look at plumbing, I get real fucking nervous. So your brain says, you know what, let's do something easier instead. It's when you scroll TikTok, check your email if that's what you do, organize your desk, anything that gives you the illusion that you're being productive without actual emotional risk. And that's procrastination in a nutshell. It's emotional avoidance dressed up as, I'll get to it later. The wild part, you're not lazy for doing this. You're actually being protective of yourself. Your brain's trying to keep you safe from emotional pain, failure, rejection, disappointment by distracting you with things that make you comfortable. You never procrastinate on fun things. You procrastinate on the things that make you feel vulnerable. You don't delay watching your favorite show, but you delay sending an email, finishing a project, or applying for a job that could possibly change your life because, well, fuck, what if it doesn't go well? What if you're not good enough? What if you put in all the effort and it still doesn't work out? And the fear of what could go wrong is what keeps you stuck. So the first step to beating procrastination isn't to just do it, Nike. It's recognizing why you're avoiding it. You're not lazy, you're scared. You're scared of discomfort, failure. You're scared of the story you'll tell yourself if things don't go perfectly well. So once you name that fear and say, oh, well, this is just me trying to avoid being uncomfortable, it loses a lot of fucking power. Because fear thrives in confusion, but it weakens when you call it out. Step number 2, let's break this sumbitch down into tiny steps. Now that we understand the why, let's talk about the how. The reason big tasks feel paralyzing is because they're too abstract. You see something like write an essay or start a business or get in shape and you don't know where to begin, so panic sets in. It's like you're trying to climb a mountain while staring at the peak. You feel tired already, you haven't fucking taken a step. Solution, shrink the mountain. Break that massive, intimidating goal into tiny, concrete steps. For example, let's say you need to write an essay. Don't put write report on to-do list. It's way too vague. Brain doesn't know what the fuck that means. Instead, your list should look like this. Open Google Docs. Write the title. Write one sentence of the introduction. Add a bullet point outline. That's it. The goal isn't to finish the whole report. The goal is to just start it today. Because once you start, the momentum will take over and you just kind of get rolling. The brain releases dopamine when you check off small tasks, even super tiny ones. The little hit of reward makes you want to keep going. Turns your brain from I can't do this to, well, maybe I can. And that's the trick. You're not forcing motivation. You're building it through small wins. So you got to think of it like this. If you can't run a marathon, walk a block. If you can't clean the whole room, pick up a shirt. If you can't study for 3 hours, study for 5 minutes. Now, 5 minutes might sound like nothing, but it's everything. Because once you start, the resistance to the activity stops. It's the starting that hard. It's starting that's hard, not doing it. So here's something to remember that I struggle with a lot when it comes to getting in shape or going to the gym. Action comes before motivation. So we like to think that we need the motivation first, burst of energy that makes you want to like climb the fucking highest mountain in the world and jump to the moon. But what actually happens is the motivation usually follows the action. Just getting started gets you motivated to continue going. So that momentum is what kills procrastination. So next time you're staring at something giant, go, well, what's the tiniest, dumbest version of this thing that I could do now? Maybe opening your note app and writing one sentence or setting a timer for 2 minutes and promising to stop after that. Because 9 times out of 10, you're just going to keep going. Because starting changes everything. Step number 3, progress over perfection. Action is the cure. Perfectionism is one of the biggest causes of procrastination. We tell ourselves we're going to wait for the right time. We want things to be perfect. We think we need to have the perfect plan, perfect environment, and the perfect mindset. But deep down, That's just the fear talking again. Perfectionism is just procrastination wearing a fancy outfit. It's your brain's way of saying, I won't start because if I never start, I can never fail. But the truth is, you're going to fail anyways, and we have to learn to be okay with that. Failure isn't the opposite of progress. It is progress, because every mistake teaches you something. Every attempt gets you closer to the final end result. That's how a baby learns to walk. They fall hundreds of times and never once think, well, maybe walking isn't for me. They just get up and try it again. But as adults, we internalize this. We make it personal. Instead of saying that didn't work, we say, oh, I didn't work. And that's where the shame kicks in, the self-doubt, and the endless cycle of, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start Monday. I'll start January 1st. But here's the mindset shift that breaks the cycle. You got to focus on the progress, not the perfection. If you made 1% progress today, that's a win. If you did 5 minutes of what you were avoiding, that's a win. If you took any action, whether it was messy or incomplete, that's still going forward. And that's the important part. Because the goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistent. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Perfection is fragile. One mistake can feel like a failure. Consistency is flexible. You can adapt, recover, and keep it chugging. Action, even if it's imperfect action, rewires your brain. It builds evidence that you can do things, that you are capable. And over time, that builds confidence. And confidence eventually kills fear. Because once your brain learns that discomfort doesn't equal danger, that you can survive failure, awkwardness, uncertainty, procrastination loses its grip. So how do you actually apply this? 3-step plan, I think. I don't know. Catch the fear. Step 1, catch it. What am I actually afraid of here? Am I scared of failing, not doing it right, not knowing where to start? Name it. Once you name the fear, you disarm it. Step 2, shrink the task. Turn it into small, bite-sized goals. If the task is to write a book, step 1 might just be open a new document. You're not tricking yourself. You're lowering the amount of energy it takes to activate the task. Once you start, you're just going to naturally want to keep going. And step 3, focus on the progress, not the perfection. Set your bar low, so ridiculously low. Your goal isn't to do it perfectly. It's just to show up. And even if you made a little bit of progress today, that's still progress, and progress compounds because small steps lead to big changes. So let's recap. You're not lazy. You're protecting yourself from discomfort. When something feels emotionally risky, when you fail, feel judged, or not meet your own standards, your brain hits them motherfucking brakes. But procrastination is a short-term solution that creates long-term pain. The temporary relief you feel when you avoid that task is anxiety delayed because you still have to do it. Because the moment you start, your brain goes, well, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. And that magic moment is fear turning into flow. So you don't need to feel ready. You're almost never going to feel ready. Waiting to feel ready is just another form of procrastination. If you wait for the perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. So just get started. Build clarity by doing, gain momentum by moving. Instead of asking, am I ready to start? Ask, what's the smallest way I can start anyway? That's how change actually happens. Quietly and perfectly, one tiny step at a time. So you don't have to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to suddenly become the most disciplined person on the planet. All you need to do is start small and stay consistent. You're going to mess up sometimes. You're going to fall back in some old patterns, and that's okay. That's part of being human. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you're rewiring your brain, proving to yourself that you can do the hard things. Truth is, procrastination feels powerful, but it's fragile. It only survives in inaction. The moment you even take one step forward, one click, note, sentence, it starts to crumble. So start small, start messy, and be scared, but start. Because you don't beat procrastination by thinking about it, you beat it by doing something. So if this helped you at all, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.